Welcome to Spectator Sporting, sponsored by Spectator Sporting. I'm Zachary Roach.
I'm Adi Wale.
Make sure you go to spectatorsporting.com. Go ahead and check out previous clips, previous shows. This is episode number 35. This is the Frank Thomas edition, the Hall of Famer, the best player the Chicago White Sox have ever had. We got a big show. We are doing a Bulls preview, and we got our main man, James Babbitt, in the building to talk Bulls. We're going to talk about if they're going to make the playoffs, key players, and all of it. We're going to go through the whole thing, so I can't wait to get to this. So let's just get started right away. So, James, I'm going to go to you first. It's the Bulls last year, no playoffs. They changed coach. They fired Fred Hoiberg halfway, midway, beginning of the season last year. Yeah. James Boylan stepped in. Jim Boylan stepped in.
Yeah.
Gave the Bulls a hard training, hard practices, make them do push-ups.
Tibbs 2.0.
Yeah.
Tibbs Jr.
You know, the Bulls got tired of Tibbs and they rehired Tibbs, but his name is Boylan. Yeah. But so now they go into the season. They gave Boylan also an extension as well, which I that's beyond me. But you got some good players, so I want to know. Who's the key player? If the Bulls are going to make any noise this year, if they have any chance to make some noise, who is the key player that needs to step their game up?
Key player, I would say, would be Laurie Marketing. He's the guy that can be a force down low as well as from outside, three-point threat, which is something that we don't have as we look at this roster, which every other NBA team that's competing and going out there every night definitely has. Uh-huh. So Laurie Marketing could be a threat. Zach LaVine will fall in the pecking order as number 2. He's kind of the guy that be the engine that push him. But it's very important that Laurie Marketing stays healthy and can give us that 82 games this season so we can get a real measuring stick on what this team can be and what they may be.
That's a problem. You make a great point. That's a problem the Bulls have had. I question their medical staff because this team stays with injuries all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. And that is a problem for the Bulls. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, you know what? We know Zach LaVine and Laurie Marketing can drop 45 to 50 points a game in any given night. Combined. All right. Yeah. So, but we need Wendell Carter Jr. to step up and give the Bulls that big three, okay?
I like that.
Carter Jr. has the potential to be an Al Horford type of player, a guy that can hit the open jumper, hit some threes and give you some low post points and be that hustle man for the team. Carter Jr. has got to establish himself as the best defensive player on the Bulls team. That way Chicago can compete with the Pistons, Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin, the Nuggets, Paul Millsap, Nikola Jokic, and the 76ers, Joel Embiid, Al Horford is one of the best big man combinations in the league. Yes. Okay, they're young, but they have the potential to do it if Carter Jr. can elevate his game and be a force in the NBA.
Well, I definitely agree with James and you. Laurie Marketing, it's just about health with him. If Marketing is healthy, I think he'll be fine. He's a player that can get you 20, 25 a night. I say 20, 25 a night and get you double-digit rebounds. Wendell Carter, hopefully he can stay healthy this year and, like you say, be that force. But the player that I'm really looking at is Otto Porter. Mm-hmm. Otto Porter is huge.
Lionel Richie.
Yeah. Otto Porter is huge because he kind of, I ain't gonna say Luau Deng, but he kind of is in that mode where he's a wing player who can do it all. Shoot the three, he can get hot, he can go off for 20, 30 some nights. Yeah. You put him on, he's got a good size on him. I think if he could be a consistent player where he gets you 18 to 19 a night, I think that really helped the Bulls out a lot. And he's also, even though he's still young, he is a veteran. He is a veteran. That's one thing the Bulls do lack is veteran leadership. Hopefully he can kind of fill that role a little bit for the Chicago Bulls. So I definitely agree. Both of you make great points. Now, what concerns, Adi, I'm going to start with you. What concerns you the most about the Bulls this year?
Well, the Bulls being too soft in the paint on defense, all right? Last year, the Bulls was the 4th worst team in the NBA in blocks and opponent's field goal percentage, okay? They allow teams to come in and get highlights with floaters, layups, and alley-oops and dunks and things like that. Laurie Marketing and Wendell Carter Jr. has got to toughen up and take some pride in protecting the paint, all right? So you got, the Bulls do have the high-flying 6'11" rookie second-round pick, Daniel Gafford. He should be a force off the bench on the defensive side of the ball. The man averaged 2 blocks a game in his 2-year career at Arkansas. We need to get him in the game whenever marketing and Wendell Carter Jr. is looking lackluster on defense. Forget about Felicio.
Please forget about Felicio.
Just put him in the G League.
Wait, hold on. That project has to be over with.
I'm sorry. How is he still on the Bulls? I don't mean to talk about him. I mean, I'm glad he's getting paid, but how is he on the Bulls roster right now?
They signed him to a 4-year, $32 million deal a few years ago, and that was a huge mistake.
We got to get a camera in that practice facility. Maybe he's doing things in practice that are so astronomical that the Bulls like, we have to keep this guy. But everything I've seen on the TV and the limelight and live action, I don't understand how he's still on the roster. I mean, it is what it is. They keep making these bad moves. But
yeah. Well, hopefully Daniel Gafford steals his minutes,
yes.
puts Felicio in the G League or something, or back to Brazil where he's from. So, but my biggest concern is the defensive side of the ball, protecting the paint, blocking some shots, give some hard fouls, get old school, man, down there, and stop allowing guys to get all these easy layups in the paint and things like that.
What do you think, James? What concerns you the most about the Bulls this year?
I want to agree with Adi on the defensive side of it. That concerns me the most, as well as I say the turnovers. The turnovers is a huge problem for the Bulls. When you combine a problem with defense and turnovers, that's a long night for you and a great night for the opposition, which is what we've been seeing lately. So if you turn the ball over and you don't play defense, that's bad. Bad recipe for disaster. You look at the game last night, the Bulls turned the ball over up teen times, even when they're winning, even when they're losing. It doesn't matter. They're going to turn the ball over. So Jim Boylan, if you want to be so aggressive in practice, be aggressive with keeping control of the ball when you have it and making sure your team does that to the strongest of their ability. And I'm sure we'll see better results, hopefully, with what we have to work with. But no matter what the talent is on the team, you have to play the game a certain way, and turning the ball over is not that way to be productive in this league.
I agree with both of you. Defense and turnovers are a big problem for the Bulls, but my biggest concern is the point guard position. Who's going to play point guard for this team? The Bulls, obviously, that has been a problem area for the Bulls the last few years. Now, off air, we talked about Derrick Rose. They still haven't found somebody who can replace Derrick Rose.
He could be playing right now.
Yeah. I mean, Derrick Rose is still a lot better than every point guard that's on his team right now. Yeah, but he's getting injured. But that's a different story. We're not going to dwell on that. That's
one leg Derrick Rose is better than what we get right now.
But the point guard position right now, because I look at the roster, like we talked about Lauren marketing, you get him the ball, he can score the ball. Zach LaVine is your 2 guard. He can put up points for you. Otto Porter's a guy who can shoot the 3 spot up. He'd be great for a kick out. And Wendell Carter, he can catch oops. He can also shoot the jumper. So you need somebody who's going to distribute and keep everybody happy. So that leads into my next question. So I'm going to start with you, James, on this one. The Bulls have I guess it's a competition. They have a 3-guard competition.
Yeah.
We got Coby White, Chris Dunn, and say his name for me.
Tomas Satoransky.
Tomas Satoransky.
Who should be starting point guard? Who would you start at the beginning of the season at point guard?
Right now, we'll put the young fella Coby White in. I mean, he wouldn't hurt this team by any means, any stretch of the imagination. He comes out there, he pushes the ball, he scores the ball, he finishes, he has a good outside shot. He plays with a lot of energy. We gave Chris Dunn too many times and too many chances. He plays at the same pace. That doesn't seem it's going to change. He could be a great backup in this league.
Yes.
And for as far as the Tomas Satoransky, as far as he goes, I will put him 3rd just because we just don't know anything about this guy. We've seen flashes here and there. He's been on the Wizards, I believe, where he came from. Yeah. I mean, it's good to have carry 3-point guards in this league, but I would start with Coby White. I would let Dunn mentor him and Dunn be the backup because that seems to be Dunn's strongest point because we tried it with the starting. Dunn is just Dunn. He's going to be who he is, and he's a great backup in my eyes. And you put this young guy in because, I mean, right now, what do we have to lose by putting the young talent out there? Young, energetic, going to run the floor. He can work well with Markin and Zach LaVine running the floor. I see that being a great fit, man, for the Bulls having Coby White out there. That was actually a good draft pick. I was surprised that they went that route when they did pick him, to be honest.
Okay, Coby White, that'd be good. I'm looking at Tomas Satoransky, though. I will say this: he did. When John Wall got hurt for the Wizards last year, he did fill in pretty good for the Wizards last year when he got hurt. Who do you think? Who you think should be starting point guard for the Bulls?
Well, you know what? The Wizards, they didn't have a 3-year, $30 million contract to offer Tomas Satoransky. Satoransky. That's why they got a second round pick and a sign and trade deal with the Bulls. Now, you did mention how you feel in the role for John Wall, who missed a lot of games last season. Yeah. And when Satoransky subbed in for him, he shot 48% from the field, 40% from the three-point line. He had a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. So the man is efficient, okay? Yeah. And he's a 6'7" point guard. He's not afraid to go ahead and try to dunk on somebody every once in a while. Now, Coby White, he's extremely fast. He loves to push the pace and up the tempo. But he's a shoot-first scoring type point guard. Yes. And he needs to learn to be more of a distributor. Last year in North Carolina, that was his first year really playing point guard, so he's still learning the position. Yes. And so Chris Dunn, he's the most disappointing player in the post-Jimmy Butler era. Okay. The man, he was a 5th overall pick in 2016, shooting 42% from the field, and he also missed 66 games for the Bulls. So I don't know what the Bulls are going to do with him. They tried to trade him. They don't know what to do with the guy. I would start Satoransky, okay? The man's 28 years old. See what he got. He's a mystery man, you know. Coby White, he's a point guard of the future. Let's see what Satoransky got. He might surprise us. We might be a pleasant surprise.
I actually agree with you on this one. I would also start Satoransky on this one too, because I feel like he's done it, and he's more of a point guard. He's right now, and I think Coby White. Now he's the more talented player. White is probably the more talented player. He is the future, but I think he can learn a lot from Satoransky right now. I think he can sit back and not sit back because he's going to play minutes. He will be the backup. Chris Dunn will probably be the 12th man on the bench for me right now. Like it's no like Chris Dunn. Like even his defense slipped last year. His strong point was supposed to be his defense. I see him reaching all the time. All he does is reach, and he get fouls. You know, he's always got multiple fouls every game. So I feel like I'm with you. I think Tomas Satoransky should at least start the season. Right. Now things can change midway through the season. Now we can see like if he's thinking of, then you go to the rookie. But you know you kind of ease the rookie in because the Bulls. You don't want to kill his confidence quick yet.
And the way the league is set up, you got the Kyrie Irvings, Russell Westbrooks of the league. It's kind of like Coby White is like that next thing to me in the sense where he can come in and give you that flashiness along with the hot plan to match it because Satoransky, I mean, my man could be good and efficient, but when you look at the competition point guards, you're going to need what Coby White brings at some point. We're going to have to go there at some point.
Yeah, we're going to have to go there, but I think to start the season, I think it'll help. It'll actually be beneficial to Coby White to watch him run the team and see the point guard because he is a true point guard.
So y'all cool with them taking Coby White over Cam Reddish from Duke?
Yes. I am. Don't get me wrong. Now I think Cam Reddish
scared me, man.
But I will say this: I think Cam Reddish is going to be a great player in Atlanta because he's got a point guard to play with. He's got Trae Young to play with. Right. So I think he's going to fit good down. I don't think he would have fit good with us, with the Bulls, but he will fit good in Atlanta.
We had a high need for a point guard in this draft, so we had no choice but to draft a point guard.
Absolutely.
They get that right, huh?
We had nothing.
We had to get a point guard. I wish we could have got. I wish that lucky ball could have dropped to number 2. We could have got John Moran.
John Moran would have been perfect.
I wanted him so bad, but he went number 2. You're watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. When we come back, James is going to answer the question: will the Bulls make the playoffs? We'll be back. Welcome back to Spectator Sporting, sponsored by SpectatorSporting.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Wendell.
We having a great fun show today. This is episode number 35. This is the Frank Thomas edition. The best player in White Sox history. The DH, the first baseman. He was everything. Shout out to Frank Thomas. Make sure you go to Spectator Sporting on YouTube and check out previous clips, previous shows. And this will be up soon and much, much more. We got a special guest in the building today. We got James Babbitt, James Black here talking about the Bulls. We're doing a Bulls preview. We already went through a couple things with the Bulls. Now the $1 million question. Will the Bulls make the playoffs? They haven't made the playoffs since 2017 when they had Rajon Rondo, Jimmy Butler, and Dwayne Wade and company. Fred Hoiberg was the coach. Now Jim Boylan is the coach. We have a young team. John Paxson has already come out and said this year's goal is to make the playoffs. So, when John Paxson said that, I'm going to start with you, Adi. Do you agree with John Paxson? Do this Bulls team have a chance to make the playoffs?
Well, let's see here. We know that it's highly unlikely that the Bucks, the Boston Celtics, the Pacers, Philadelphia, the Nets, or the Raptors will miss the playoffs, okay? And we also know that, so that leaves 2 spots, right? Mm-hmm. And so Blake Griffin and the Pistons and Nikola Vucevic and the Orlando Magic both made the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. And the Miami Heat, they was 2 games back from making the playoffs last year, and they replaced the Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade, retired, replaced him with Jimmy Butler. That's an upgrade right there. So now, check this out. Lauri Markkanen has got to establish himself as an all-star. Wendell Carter Jr. has to become a strong candidate for Most Improved Player of the Year. And Zach LaVine has to finally start playing some defense. Now, those 3 guys, they combined to miss 97 games last year. They got to stay healthy, okay? Now, what I'm trying to say is the Bulls are not going to make the playoffs. So, I don't think they're going to do it, man.
No playoffs for you, so you say no playoffs?
No playoffs.
What about you, James? What do you think? Will the Bulls make the playoffs?
Well, hopefully the kids are all going to bed. I would like to say, hell no. There's no way this team is going to make it. I hope I'm wrong, but deep down inside, I kind of feel I'm right. I agree with Adi. There's no way we are better than the teams he named, along with the other 2 that made the playoffs last year, who made upgrades along with their roster. And then if you look at the Bulls' deficiencies and look at the roster we have, look at the coaching that we have, I just don't see this team being able to get past the Phillies, the Bostons, even the lower playoff teams, the Detroit Pistons, the Orlando Magic. It's just no way possible. I mean, we're in purgatory basketball hell right now. If you are a Bulls fan, we're not so bad where we can get a top pick because they changed the tanking situation. They changed that up, but we're not good enough either so that we're in the middle of the pack either. So we're just sitting there riding on the island of ourselves. You can come here, you can develop yourself. You can hope somebody sees you. If they don't, you just retire here. You get injured here and you retire. However it may go, we're just sitting here just wondering what will happen next, and the playoffs are not it.
Now, maybe the Bulls get some luck. Maybe some other teams have some injuries. Maybe some other teams, they go through some things.
About 12
The
teams.
Bulls, one thing the Bulls have not been able to do, they don't stay healthy. I think the Bulls need to hire a new medical staff because it seems like the Bulls have so many injuries every year. Maybe the Pistons have some injuries. Maybe the Magic don't become, the Magic made the playoffs last year. Maybe people get to them and they regress. But I don't think so. The Bulls will not make the playoffs. I really want to make a case for the Bulls. I just do not see it. I'm with Adi. Lauri Markkanen has to be. We need him 75 to 82 games this year to play, and he needs to be a double-double machine. I mean, 21 and 12, 21 and 11, because I think that's his potential. Mm-hmm. So I think he can do that. I think Zach LaVine should damn near be an all-star as well too, because he can score. He averaged 23 a game last year. He can score the ball really well, but I just don't think the filling parts, the bench is not strong enough. The starting lineup, the Bulls actually do have a nice little starting lineup. They got some scorers, Lauri Markkanen, Zach LaVine. Point guard position is a big problem. We don't know who's going to be the point guard of this team. Hopefully Wendell Carter is ready to go when the season starts, but I just don't see it.
You mentioned the bench, Chandler Hutchison in his second year. Hopefully he was first round.
Yeah.
Bring back D-Rose.
D-Rose is going to help the Pistons out a lot. Don't be surprised if D-Rose is starting with Detroit when the season goes on. Don't be surprised. But I don't see it. And then you got teams like the Atlanta Hawks. I actually think the Atlanta Hawks are going to get a plus. That's for the next show. We're doing an NBA preview coming up next week, so stay tuned for that as well. But that's that. I don't see it. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully Jim Boylan has got these guys ready to go. Hopefully they have a system to play.
Scottie Pippen ain't coming walking through that locker room, man.
I just don't see it because even though the East is not as strong as the West, the East is stronger this year. It is stronger this year. The West is loaded. The East is not as good as the West, but it is still strong. And of course, you still got the normal teams: Milwaukee, Boston, Philly. So it's gonna be tough. So I want to ask y'all something. I'm gonna start with you, James. Mm-hmm. Besides talented players, which I think the Bulls have a few talented players, they have some nice talented players. What is it gonna take for the Bulls to make the playoffs? How do we get over this hump?
Well, to get over this hump, we will need to replace the front office. We will need to replace the coach. The culture above the players needs to be changed because in today's game, You need to be able to have 2 superstars at the least to say, hey, you want to go to Chicago? You want to go help these guys out? Let's team up. Let's go to Chicago. That's today's game. If you look at the Brooklyn, even how Golden State did it. If you look at the Lakers, AD and LeBron hooked up. You look at the Clippers, you got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. That's the new today's game. Nobody is hooking up and saying, let's go to Chicago. So until that begins to happen, we can draft as good as we want. We can develop these players as much as we want. They will get fed up and say, hey, I want out. We have to be able to change the culture in the front office in order to bring in 2 superstars to say we would like to join these young guys and help them out to get over the hump. Until that happens, it's going to be year after year. We've been watching since '98, hoping for something. We had glimpses with the Derrick Rose era. They said no to the Big 3 in 2010. Who knows why? After that, we've had no other flashes except for 2017 when we had D. Wade and company with Rondo, who was set for some reason majority of the season, but he did get the chance to play. We saw what could have been. We might not have been the AFC that year. So until we can change that front office and the coaching, nothing can get us over this hump. This is
Any hope, Bobby? Give me some hope. I need some hope right here. He gave me nothing. Give me some hope.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. Like,
give me some hope. I need it.
Well, I'm gonna try. All right. So when it comes real hard. Well, when it comes down to superstar free agents, if you really look at the history of it, most superstar free agents sign in warm weather cities. You know, Barkley went to Phoenix, and you got Jimmy Butler just went to Miami. AD just demanded trade to LA. People don't really go to cold weather cities and superstars in free agency. It usually don't happen most of the time. And if you look at the history of the Bulls, all our great teams with Jordan's Bulls, even all those guys was drafted. Pippen, Jordan, Horace Grant. You know what I'm saying? We traded for Dennis Rodman. Okay, Derrick Rose was drafted. Okay, Luol Deng, Joe Noor, everybody drafted. So I'm gonna look at college this year. You got guys like Anthony Edwards at Georgia. You got Cole Anthony at University of North Carolina. And LaMelo Ball is in Australia playing. I'm gonna look at him. Hopefully the Bulls can get lucky in the draft. They had this number 7 pick in the last 3 drafts. Okay, 7. So maybe we're about to get lucky on some shit. I don't know what's
going to be number 7 again.
Right.
Ron Harper was our last big free agent pickup that brought us to help us get the 3 rings. And Ron Harper was a key factor in that. So that's the only thing I can think of free agent wise that the Bulls ever did.
Well, they got Carlos Boozer.
Booze Cruz. He came with Vaseline on his hands for some reason at the end of the game.
I mean, Boozer was he was a double machine. He did help the Bulls.
But he was at the end of his career. We don't really get superstars in their prime free agency. It's up to really the draft. We have to. Hopefully, the Bulls can surprise us and make the playoffs. But if they don't, we know they're not going to make the playoffs. So hopefully, we get lucky in the draft. The Lakers had they jumped up to number 4 in the draft this past draft because of the lottery. But it's behind closed doors, so I think it's kind of corrupt because they won't show it to the public live, the lottery. So I don't know what the hell they're doing back there. But, I'm just saying the Bulls, they just got to get lucky in the draft. They got to get somebody, hopefully get LaMelo Ball or something.
Or if the NBA can extend the playoffs seeds from 8 to maybe 14. They get 14 teams, and the Bulls are definitely to make it different.
Now, see, the point you made about the Bulls, even when they were good in the 90s, when they was all drafted, it was a different league. It wasn't so based on free agency at the time. This era is about free agency. And if you don't have the right people in the front office selling the team, selling it, it's not going to happen.
Hello.
Brooklyn is a prime example. They got rid of that front office. They brought new people in. They made what they do. They made the playoffs with some scrappy young players, and they made Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving look at them like, that team could be something.
Kyrie Irving is from New Jersey, and you know what I'm saying. So he grew up in that.
I mean, but if they suck, if they didn't make the playoffs, Kyrie wouldn't go there.
That was a huge factor. That was a huge factor.
It helped. Yeah. But if the Nets had that same front office from before that gave up all those first round picks, Kyrie Irving wouldn't sign with the Nets.
Russian guy.
Listen. The Bulls, I'm with you, James. Give her that front up. They have such a damn losers mentality. Yeah. This is Chicago. I get it. It gets cold here. But this is a great city to live in. This is a great place to be. You sell the damn city. Stop you don't even, look, we had all these free agents this year, and not one meeting with none of these free agents. How you don't even go for a meeting? You got Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, all these free agents, and you didn't get one meeting with nobody?
And we the third largest city. Third largest city.
Look,
we can't get the third best player to come have a sit down with us.
What you say about the weather, that is a fair and great point. But still, it is what it is. I look at college. Look at John Calipari. I guarantee if John Calipari was coaching the U of I would have a bunch of NBA players right now. Because you know why? Because John Calipari knows how to sell his team. And that's what the Bulls, their front office don't know how to sell a team, and they have no respect around the league. So until that changes, they will not get not one free agent, and we're going to have to keep depending on the draft.
Yeah.
Well, they'll get them when they're 47, getting ready to retire. Say, hey, I'll go to Chicago now. You know.
So hopefully we're all wrong about this.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully the Bulls do make, because I want the Bulls to fight for the playoffs this year. I want them to fight for the AFC. It'll be good to see. I want to see, because I like Lauren Martin. They have some good young players. I want to see these players develop. I want to see them do good.
Well, the All-Star game will be held in Chicago at the United Center.
Yeah.
That'll be the only time we'll have as many All-Stars at the United Center. So what we can probably do is sell that to all the All-Stars, upcoming free agents. It'll be in February, the coldest time in Chicago.
There you go.
So hopefully they can see this is not a bad place to be. If maybe they can say, hey, I'll play in Chicago.
There you go.
But that's our only hope. We're going to host the All-Star game, have all the All-Stars here at one time, and maybe we can go from there and get rid of that front office. But until that happens, we'll be watching the playoffs with other cities.
Well, I will say this. Most superstar free agents, they just go to warm weather and they just go to play their hometown and stuff like that, you know. And so that's usually what happens, man.
You gotta sell the city. You gotta have people.
I love forgetting superstars.
You gotta sell the city.
If you book them, they will show.
Yes. This has been episode number 35, the Frank Thomas edition. We want to thank you for watching. This is Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. We want to give a special thanks to our special guest, James Babbitt, aka James Black, for the dope Bulls analysis. I'm Zach Roach. And until next week, we're going to do an NBA preview, so stay tuned for that. Until then, we are out.